Okay, so hello everyone. This is part 6 of our DSA with Python playlist. In previous videos, we have discussed. So let's see what we have discussed in previous videos. So let's check the syllabus. Okay, so we have discussed about introduction to data structure and algorithm, right? And we have seen analysis of algorithm and complexity calculation, right? In this video, we are going to discuss about sample algorithm with implementation. Okay, so means from this video onwards, we are going to work on programs. Okay, so let me copy this. So we will start with sample algorithm with implementation. Okay, so here we will understand like how we can write optimized code, right? So suppose in this video, I'm going to implement one program. Suppose if we have to calculate even and odd number, okay, implement a program to check whether the number is even or odd. Okay, generally we already know how to write the logic for even and odd. Okay, but we will see the optimized solution, or we can say we will see the efficient solution, efficient program. Okay, means for example, there are three people writing the program for the same problem. So which solution will be better? So like that we have to select, right? So what we will do, let me open ideally. Okay, let me take a new file. Let me save this file. Create a folder, DSA code. Okay, and this is program one. All right. So what I will do, see, whenever you are writing program for any problem, you should divide your problem into what modules. Okay. So we will divide our problem in modules, right? So what I will do, I'll create one function. Okay. Fun one. We are writing Python code, right? So we are creating function one. Inside the function one, how we will check? Okay. So inside the function one, first we will send one input. Okay, so who will receive the input? Input will receive by fun1, okay, and will receive the input, right? And here, okay, suppose, see, we are writing logic. What logic we are writing? We will say if n is modulus 2, if n is modulus 2 equals to 0, means return what? Return true. Okay, true means this is what number? This is even number, right? If it is not, okay, after after coming out from the if block, we will return what? False. Okay, this is one function. This is one function. Okay, so let me execute this code. Then we will see what could be the other possible way to check even and odd. Right. So what I'm doing here, I will create one for loop for I in range. Okay. And if I write here 11, okay, so what will happen? I will call this function. I will call this fun function how many times? 0 to 10 times. Means it will execute from 0 to 10. So 10 times I want to call this function. So I will write here fun1 and I will pass here I. Right, and I will write this fun1. What I'm doing, I'm calling fun1, and this fun1 I will write inside the print, right? And I will say it is calling for I comma, right? And I will separate each value with tab space. So I'm writing here separator. Okay, we will separate each value with tab space. Nothing but this comma will replace by the backslash t, right? Okay, so let's check the output now. So as you can see, okay, 0 is what? Even, so true. 1 is what? 1 is what? Odd, so false. 2 is what? Even, so true. 3 is what? 3 is odd, so that's why it is giving false. Means it is giving true for even values and it is giving false for odd values, right? So this is one way. This is one way to write program. Okay, okay, let's create another module. Def fun2. Okay, we have to check which module is taking less time and less memory, right? So what we will do here, what we are returning if it is modulus 2 and if remainder is 0. Okay, modulus 2 equals to 0, return true. Otherwise, by the end of the function, return false. But here in function 2, what we are going to write, we will write return only. Only one line of code we will write. And inside the return itself, we will write n modulus 2 equals to 0. We are not saying return this and return that. Just we are saying inside the return, just we are writing this calculation. So what this function 2 will return. Okay, so what I will do, just call this function 2 as well. So I'm writing fun2 and I will call fun2 as well. How many time? I time. Okay, those many time this loop is executing, the same time we will execute fun2 as well. Okay, so see which one is best, which one is best solution of the even and odd problem. So is it giving the same output or not? Let's see. Let's execute. Okay, indentation error. Okay, not indentation error, syntax error, which is I missed the comma. Now let's execute this. So as you can see here, okay, let me execute this again. As you can see here, this is output from function 1 and this is from function 2. So means both functions are giving the same output for even and odd. If 1 means odd, odd means false, it is giving false. 2 is what? Even, and both functions are returning even. See, in which function we are writing less line of code? In function 2. But here we explicitly mention return true and return false, but we are not mentioning here anything. Okay, so there could be a one more solution. For example, if we are writing 0, so what's the binary equivalent of 0? 0, 0, 0, 0. We are writing in 4-bit. Okay, what is the equivalent of 1? Binary equivalent of 1. So binary equivalent of 1 is 0, 0, and 1. What is the binary equivalent of 2? So it will be 0, 0, 1, 0. Okay, so what we are doing, okay, let's take one more number. 0, 0, 1, 0. It's not 1, 0, it is 1. Okay, so see, whenever we have even number, okay, let's take one more number. 0, 1, 0, 0. So how many even numbers we have? This 2 is even and 4 is even. So you will notice one thing. Whenever we have even number, so the least significant bit, we can say least significant bit is 0. Least significant bit of even number is 0. Okay, if we talk about odd number, if we talk about odd number like 1 and 3, so least significant bit. So what is the least significant bit? Least significant bit is 1. LSB is what? 1. LSB 1 of odd number. So can we say if you want to check whether it is even or odd, so there is a trick you can do. For example, I am writing here 5. Okay, so what is the binary equivalent of 5? So binary equivalent of 5 is 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, if you will add 1, add means I'm talking about bitwise add. So if you will add, so what will happen? It will become 0, okay, 1 and 1. 1 and 1 is what? 1, and this is 0, and this is 1, and this is 0. Okay, so what is the least significant bit? This is 1. So 1 means we can say 5 is a odd. If least significant bit is 1 means we can say 5 is a odd. Let's take an even number. Let's take an even number which is 8. So what is the binary equivalent of 8? So binary equivalent of 8 is 1, 0, 0, 0. If you will add 1, okay, bitwise AND, okay, and operation we are doing. So 0 and 1. 0 and 1 is what? 0. Okay, 0, 0, and 0. So what is the least significant bit? Least significant bit is 0. So that's the reason we can say 8 is a even number. Okay, least significant bit. Okay, LSB is coming 0. 0 means it is even. Okay, if LSB of a number is 1, what we can say? This is odd. This is odd. So let's write one more function, one more module here. We will write one more module here based on this LSB logic. Okay, least significant bit is 0 even, and least significant bit is 1, means the number will odd. Okay, so what we will do, each time we will add 1 inside the number and we will check the result. Least significant bit is 1 means odd. Okay, so let's write the code. Let's write another module. Okay, so I'll create def and we will write function 3 now, and it will receive one input. And what we will do, we will return. Okay, so before returning, we have to check. We have to do one calculation. What calculation we have to do? We have to check whatever number is coming. We will add, we will perform AND operation with 1. From on this number we are going to perform AND operation, and after this AND operation, if it is if it is becoming 0, okay, so what we are doing, we are performing AND operation with an input. Okay, whatever input we are receiving, we are performing AND input. What does it mean? See, try to understand once again what I'm trying to say. For example, if you are performing AND with 1, okay, and if it is equivalent to 0, we will say this is what? Even. Okay, this is even. And if it is equivalent to the 1, okay, then we will say odd. Okay, what does it mean? Let's take an example. For example, and having one number called like 6, and storing one number 6. And what we will do, okay, wait, this is n is 6 and this one is same, right? So what is the binary equivalent of 6? Binary equivalent of 6 is 0, 1. Okay, 0, 1, 1, 0, right? And what is the binary equivalent of this one? So binary equivalent of this one is 0, 0, 0, and 1. Okay, let's perform which operation? AND operation. Let's perform AND operation on it. Okay, so what it will become? 0. What it will become? 1. Okay, not 1. It will become 0, 0, and 0. Okay, so what is the LSB? What is the LSB? LSB is 0. LSB is 0 means it is what? Even number. So 6 is what? 6 is an even number or not? I hope you are understanding this example. Okay, so that's the reason we are writing this. If we are performing AND operation with n and it is equivalent to the 0, we will say n having even input. Otherwise, it will return false. Okay, so let's call this function here fun3 fun3 and call it I time. Right. So now let me execute this code. Okay, so let me execute it once again. Okay, so as you can see here, all three functions are giving true for 0, and for odd number it is giving what? False. All the functions are giving same output. Okay, 2 means even and all the functions are saying true. 3 means odd and all the functions are saying false. Okay, so which function is having optimum solution means efficient, which function is working efficiently. So see, we have this function 1 and this we have function 2 and we have function 3. Okay, so which one is working fastly? So this function 3 will work. Function 3, okay, 1 3 will work efficiently. Okay, why? Because it is working with binary data. Okay, if it is working with binary data, it means it is close to the machine. So it will efficiently execute. Okay, because it is performing operation on binary data, means there is no current conversion, or we can say very less conversion of the binary. But here we have to convert in binary, right? Here also we have to convert each and everything in binary. Okay, so this function is taking less work. So means this is the optimum solution. So this is the best solution we can say. Function 3 is taking less time and less memory, right? For the same problem. Problem is what? Implementation of a program to check whether number is even or odd. Okay, let me just copy this code. Let me paste it here. Okay, so now let's implement the second function. Okay, which is find the maximum. Okay, we will implement second program. Okay, find the maximum. Okay, so let's see what will be the optimum solution for this. Okay, we are going to implement find the maximum number. Okay, and we will see which will be the optimum solution or best solution for this problem. Okay, so let me save this program, and this is program 2. Okay, so here what we will do, so first we will take two numbers from the user. Okay, let's say a equals to integer input. Okay, and we will take input from the input function, and we will write the message, enter a value, right? And we will take another input which is integer type. Okay, we will take input from the input function, enter enter b value, enter b value, right? And after that what I will do, I will send this value into a function. So let me create one function first. Okay, how to create function in Python? Def fun1. Okay, and this fun1 should receive two values. It should receive how many values? Two values, a comma b. Okay, a comma b. And after that what we will do, we will check, we will perform comparison between these two values. So if a greater than b, okay, return what? Return a, because a is maximum. If a is greater than b means a is maximum. Then okay, if it is not, if it is not true, if it is not true, then return b. B is what? Maximum. So this is the first module we have written. Okay, let's call this function. How we call this function? We will call this function by writing function name, and inside the parenthesis we will give two input. Okay, and this input we are taking from the user inside a and b, so we will pass a comma b. Okay, we are passing a comma b. Okay, whatever result is we will print, because it is returning b or a, so we will, okay, so it will return here from, it is calling. So I will catch this return inside the print, and I will display this. Okay, I will say, okay, 1 1, like that I will display. Okay, let me execute this code. Okay, just close this. Let's execute now. Okay, so what is the A value? So A value I'm giving 10 and B value I'm giving 20. So it is saying what? Fun one is returning 20, means it is returning the maximum value. Okay, so let's write another function. Let's check which function will be best for this problem. So another function we will write with the help of ternary operator, or we can say conditional operator we will write. So def, we will write fun2 and we will receive two input. Okay, so how we write ternary operator in Python? So in order to write ternary operator in Python, let me write return keyword and I will write A, return A. Return A, when you have to return A, if A is greater than B. If A is greater than B, then return A. Okay, this is the ternary operator. This is the way to write ternary operator in Python. Else what we will say? If it is not true, else return what? Return B. So this is what ternary operator in Python. Return A when this condition satisfied, return B when this condition is not satisfied. Okay, and let me call function to print. Okay, fun2, fun2, and we are giving two inputs to it. Okay, so which function is taking less time and which function is optimum means like what I'm trying to say, which function having less line of code and which function is having more number of line of code. Okay, so let's check. So let me just execute this module. So enter A value is 100, B value is 200. So function 1 is returning 200 and function 2 also returning 200, which is having ternary operator, means only one line of code. This function 2 is containing only one line of code. So you have to think which solution will be good. Okay, if a function is containing more line of code or less line of code. Okay, now function 3, let's create another function which is also taking two two inputs. Okay, and here what we are going to do, we will return here predefined function. Python has one inbuilt function which is called max. So if you will write a comma b, so it will also return the maximum of two number. So see, here we are writing this many line of code, here we are writing this much statement, and here we are writing this. Okay, so which solution will be the best, you have to select. Okay, so for example I'm writing here 100 and 150. Okay, so what is the larger value, maximum value? So maximum value from function A returning 150, function 2 also returning 150, but function 3 is returning, but we are not calling function 3. So let me call the function 3 as well. Function 3, fun3, A comma B, right? Okay, so let me execute it once again. So 100 and 150. So all three functions are returning the same value, which is maximum is what? Maximum of these two numbers is 150, and here it is also returning 150, and this is also returning 150. Okay, see, so which function is written less line of code? So I think this function having less line of code. Okay, but which one take less time, we can't say, because none of the function is working on binary data. It is not working in on binary data. Like in previous example, we were working on bitwise operation, and bitwise work on binary data. But here there is no bitwise. Okay, if this is a predefined function, means there is some code inside, like behind this there are some code, but we can't say this is related to bitwise. Okay, so it will also not take less time, but according to the lines of code, according, if you will checking based on the line of code, so which module is effective, so this module is efficient. And why this module is efficient, let me tell you with one more example. For example, I'm taking three inputs. Suppose this function one is sending three inputs now. Okay, so C, what is the data inside C? So it is taking data from the user. So C is taking data from the user, integer input. Okay, enter B value. Okay, so user entered B value. and this function is taking b value, right? Sorry, it not b value, I'm sorry, it is c value. So the last function is taking c value and we are sending c value in function 1, and it should receive c value. Function 1 should receive c value. Okay, so now we have to compare between three values, right? What we have to do, we have to compare among three values now. So how we will perform comparison between three values. So see, what will be the comparison? Comparison will be like, for example, A is greater than B. Okay, if A is greater than B and this condition is true, if this condition is true, A is greater than B and this condition is true, and okay, and this is what? Logical and, right? And B, okay, A is greater than B, then this is true if A is greater than C also, and this condition is also true. Then what we will see, which one is maximum? A is maximum, correct? Otherwise, what we will see, we will say maximum can be B or C, right? So then again we will perform calculation comparison here. B greater than C. B greater than C means B is what? B is greater, otherwise C is greater. Like that, we will perform operation. Okay. So let's implement it with code. So what we will do? We will say if A is greater than B and A is greater than A is greater than C. If A is greater than C. Okay, so then we will return A. If A is greater than B and A is greater than C, then we will return A, right? And what we will write? We will write one more condition. We will not write here else directly. We will write elif. Okay, and in elif we will check B. If B is greater than C, if B is greater than C, then we will return B, right? Else, otherwise we will return C. Okay, so this is the code for finding maximum of three number. Okay, what about this? What about this function 2? Okay, suppose this is also receiving three inputs. It is also receiving how many inputs? Three input. Means it is receiving C value. So we will write one more argument which is C. So how we will compare now? A is greater than B. A is greater than B and okay, if A is greater than B and A is greater than C. Okay. If A is greater than B and A is greater than C, then we will say A is greater. Else, what we will say? If else, inside else, we will write, okay, else B when B is greater. When B is greater, if B greater than, if B greater than C. Okay. If B greater than C, then we will say B is greater. Otherwise, what we will say? Else C is greater. Okay, try to understand. It would be a little confusing, but try to understand. See this line. See this line first. See this code. Okay, from here to here. Okay, if this condition is satisfied and this condition is satisfied, if both are true, if both conditions are true, then only we will say A is greater. Suppose any of the condition is true, not true. If any of the condition is not true, means result is false. If false result, then go forward and print B. Okay, return what? B. But don't return directly B. Just check this condition. Okay, what is if B is greater than C? Then only return B. Otherwise, if this condition is false, then return what? C. So this is the logic. I hope you're understanding. Okay, so this is how this module 2, function 2 will work on three inputs. What about if we will send the third input to this third function. Okay, we are sending third input to the third function. So what we will do, we will write here, we will, this function 3 will receive another input which is coming in C. Okay, now we don't need to write any logic here. This maximum max function can handle our 3 input. In other programming languages, we can give only 2 inputs to this max function. But in Python, we can give sequence. We can give sequence of number to this max function. So we can say comma C. Okay, so can you please tell me now which function having less line of code, which function having less code, less word? So obviously we can say function 3. So in this scenario, we can go with function 3. So function 3 is looking best. Okay. So let me execute the code. So for example, I'm giving, okay, enter a value. A value is something like 200 and B value is something like 300. Okay. And okay, it is asking C values also. So C value is 500. Okay, so all the functions are returning the same output. All the function is returning same output. But which one is complex? Okay, this function is looking pretty complex. If you will take another input, means you have to increase the condition here. You need to increase the condition here also, like that. So here also you have to increase the conditions. But here, if you will use module 3, means it will just, you have to write, if it is taking another input D. Okay, if it is receiving 4 inputs, then just type here another input and it will compare all the values and it will return you the solution. Okay, so these two programs we have discussed in this video. So everyone please try to practice this code. Okay, we already know how to write the maximum, how to find the maximum of 2 number, 3 number, we already know. So but in this data structure with Python, we are learning. Here we are learning how we can write the efficient code, how we can do complexity analysis. Complexity analysis means we have to take care of time complexity, complex complexity, which we are going to do in further videos as well. Okay, so this is how we are learning the which solution could be the best solution for our problem. Okay, for one problem statement there could be a n number of solution, but out of that solution we are going to check which one will be the best for our problem. Okay, so this is something called data structure, means we should know the optimum version of the problem. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching this video. In next video we will discuss a different program implementation. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching this video.